Super BS.
And we are back. This is Brank here, reporting for duty.
Jank.
And today, we are missing our Dank. He's on medical leave. Prayers and thoughts go to him. And we got a special guest for a couple weeks. Who's this going to be?
I guess I'm going to have to go with Stank.
Stank. I was about to say
Banksy.
because
Banksy.
that's not, no one's taking that right now.
My podcasting is purely inspired by Banksy, so maybe I should go with Banksy.
This is a pro-Banksy podcast, okay? We're here to talk about Banksy, anime, LAN, and Tales.
Can you be Bank the Stank?
Bank the Stank.
I could. What about Stank Bank?
Stank Bank is good. We can't take all of them though, in case we have other
That
guests.
sounds so dirty.
I have other completely unrelated names too. Like I want to be Brian as well. I want to be B5 Turbington. Throwback to Brank's.
Everybody knows that one. They were all there at that Donna match, and B5 Turbington won the internationals, man.
Dota 2 championships.
B5 Turbington was there, man. I remember. I got those shirts too. Anyways, let's kick this bad boy off. It's been a little bit since we talked to you. We've had some junks going on.
First of all, do you guys hear that new audio quality that we got going on?
We got a friend back there making cricket noises.
Yeah, you're actually hearing us in 3D right now.
Yeah, we have a professional cricketer in the back. He does cricket noises and other ambient sounds.
We're paying him by the hour too, so we better get on with this.
This is we need to do a couple Patreons after this, man. Get all of our support to pay for this cricket. Need more crickets. We don't want to be one of those people who don't use bespoke organic crickets, okay, and use their audio that's already pre-cut.
Well, they're good luck too. And you guys talk about video games a lot. So.
Yeah, we talk about video games and Good Luck and Mulan.
They're all kind of the same.
They're all in one umbrella.
All related.
Same genre?
Same genre. So, Jen, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Halo Wars still, which I don't know. Okay, no. Let me tell you about this, okay?
No, he's back to Halo Wars 1.
I got the definitive edition. Came with Halo Wars 2.
Yeah.
Both games are terrible. Like
I disagree. Halo Wars 1 is actually a lot of fun.
Even I played Halo Wars 1.
Halo Wars 1, it's fun, but I hate being timed on things. I can't sit there. I hate timed missions. So this was my plan. I was like,
I hate challenges.
I don't like
anything that I can't beat the first time. I don't even want to play it anymore.
Millennial gamer.
But I did order up some of those Sega games. You know.
What Sega games?
The Sega Forever games that they released on iOS.
Nice.
And it reminded me exactly why I hate Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well, you should be buying those Sega. Yeah, of course you buy the worst emulated.
No, they only
Why do you buy this on iOS?
No. They released 4 of them, and they're free.
Yeah. Just so you know, we don't have a video podcast anymore, but James forgot to count, so he has 5 videos up.
You thought it was a cartoon for a second.
The 4 of us. 3. Yeah, so you...
But they're free.
We talk about
so
how much we love iOS on this podcast, so you guys know.
As your listener, I know.
We got the produce, man. He's here, the one listener. We do it for him, and he's our guest, Stank Bank. So continue with what you've been playing.
So do we lose a listener now since our only listener is actually on the show?
We're hoping by gaining a member, a contributor.
I'm going to listen to this afterwards,
so
it evens out.
All right. Make sure you listen to it on YouTube and podcast.com so it puts a tally up.
And don't listen to it on iTunes.
If I'm listening to it on YouTube, do I have to wear a blindfold so I don't see it?
Yeah.
Just so I listen?
We have just an audio.
So press play, open up another browser, and then press play again.
Got it. Okay, I could do that.
Just so we're
going to monetize this so much. Our main favorite thing, as we've talked about, is YouTubers and monetization. We love it.
We're going to talk about YouTube personalities tonight, right?
That's the only thing we've never
PC
talked about
culture.
PC culture.
Well, we will be talking about PC culture, like what type of
master
PC
gaming
parts.
race?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, anything else you've been playing?
No, just that. But let me complain about iOS games for a second.
Okay.
Do you know when you get so into an iOS game and your fingers get sweaty and you start smearing your fingerprints all over the screen and the buttons no longer work?
Nope.
So it's like a nice layer of thumb sweat and you can no longer press the buttons and it's just You can't play Sonic after
I'm
that.
a normal person who does what the Lord commands and doesn't play iOS games, okay? Like a stupid, dumb monkey.
The 11th commandment? Thou shalt not play phone games?
This is where Nintendo really, I think, shines when they give you those gamer tips like, now it's a good time to take a break. You could benefit from that, John.
They should.
Don't say his real name!
Whoa,
Edit that out, please.
Whoa. I think Apple should sell thumb wipes just for iOS gamers.
Yeah.
We'll pretend we'll edit this whole part out. So you play Halo Wars like a normal human being, and then you stop playing video games as a whole. Good.
Wait, so what games did you buy? What are those? Forever?
Oh yeah, Sega
games?
Forever. So they're going to be releasing 5 Sega games per month, and they're going to be free. So I downloaded Sonic. I downloaded Crazy Taxi. I got
Crazy Taxi, awesome.
It's an Offspring soundtrack. So
does it have the Offspring soundtrack?
Yes, it does. It's the one that was on Dreamcast.
They got it with a licensed soundtrack though, because there's been lots of remakes without that song.
The whole thing, and I got.
That's the whole reason why you play that game.
We're gonna put that song on here. We definitely won't have to pay a penny.
Okay, so
definitely don't have a lawyer on.
I got Sonic 1. I got Crazy Taxi. I got Sonic CD. I got Comic Zone.
Oh man,
Sonic
all the
Dash.
good ones.
And Kid Chameleon. And Sonic
Man,
Boom.
I wish I was you that I could play these games on my phone because I'm sure they handle really well.
I just like to have options, you know?
Oh man, does it have Shining Force?
No, it doesn't.
Well, then
Did
I don't
you not
want...
just hear what I said?
Yeah, I don't care. Did it say Shining Force or Shining Force 2?
It said neither of them.
I didn't hear any of those titles.
Is that Fantasy Star 2?
No.
Okay, then we don't care about that. Stank Bank. What you been blanking, aka playing?
So the last game I played seriously,
Which was yesterday.
Actually, it was about a week ago.
And he played for 24 hours, guys. Don't worry, he's a pro real gamer.
Real gamer.
This is what he does for a living.
Check him out on Twitch,
I'm just modest. The Stank Bank was playing some WoW. I had a very serious WoW career in my high school and in college years.
He's still in high school. Don't listen to him if he says he's older. We're all young high school chaps.
Me and WoW were married pretty steady for several years. I still have infrequent trysts with WoW every so often. Like every 6 months, I have a WoW bug that I have to satisfy.
Nice.
Haven't been playing
disease,
lately. So it is definitely
question for you: when you're not playing, do you still pay the monthly fee for it, or do you just?
I don't.
Okay.
I do not, because I'm a total cheapskate, Scrooge McDuck, when it comes to that.
And he only plays DuckTales because he
Yeah,
has to play as Scrooge McDuck. They have a remaster for you now on Xbox One, PS4. You're gonna love it. Disney Afternoon Collection.
I heard that was actually good.
Yeah, I love that game on NES.
WoW is a great game though now.
WoW is...
Objectively speaking, it's a great game. It's so much better.
These are all lies, okay? Don't listen to him, fan base. Or don't the listener, the one listener.
Who is me?
No, don't talk about
That goes all of our fans.
Okay, so I played WoW for a couple years when it first came out. Is everybody still fighting in...
Did you ever play WoW?
Thank you for asking, Shane. I really appreciate that. Yes, and are people still fighting STV everywhere? Because that's the only thing we all care about.
STV is a very serious thing. We don't joke about STVs.
Okay, I know. I mean, STVs and Stranglethorn Veils. Are people still there fighting? Are you still seeing 60-man fight squads there?
Well, they're not just men, Brank.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Offensive.
Double offensive.
Discriminating.
Double offensive. I'm sorry I discriminate against the orcs and the Tauren because they're not humans like us. Sorry, now we're devolving into other stuff. Do people still
fight open world?
Yes.
No. Largely, no.
And I don't care!
It is a dead thing.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was going at Lich King.
Mm-hmm.
Like...
Yeah.
Did you play again after Lich King ever?
I did. That was when I stopped playing seriously after Lich King. I was continuously subbed all through Vanilla and BC.
Yeah, BC was awesome.
King.
Burning Crusade was great.
Those are all great. Obviously, the game is still good. There have been a couple rough patches, literally, since Lich King to now, where the game definitely took a turn for the worst. But I think what really keeps that game from being its best is just...
That's a waste of time.
Well, I mean, that is a very small portion of what I'm about to say. I think it's my ability to give time to something.
Yeah.
Like, the game is intended to be played in 3, 4, 5 hour stints with other people.
Or 14 hours.
Or 14 hour stints, yes. And when you can't play the game that way, you're just playing it in a way that's unintended, and you're not going to enjoy it the way that it's meant to be played.
Well, you need to start living life to the fullest and gain to your full potential.
All right, we could stop talking about WoW, because I could talk about WoW this whole podcast. But the other things that I'm playing emulator games with my son.
Oh yeah, what games?
I'm playing Super Mario World. for SNES.
And by son, you mean you're a high schooler, so you probably mean younger kid.
I mean the planetary celestial
That's
orbiting device,
okay.
the sun.
Oh, got it. Okay.
He's very mental, guys. Don't worry about it. This guy's insane. We brought him on. You're gonna love him.
He just beat Math Blaster last week.
Math Blaster.
So wait, what game were you playing? Super Mario World?
Yeah, Super Mario World.
What else?
Mario Kart 64.
Okay.
Playing a little DK, or as we call it, Monkey Jungle.
Monkey Jungle is the proper
name.
So how does Mario Kart 64 hold up? I've been playing a lot of Mario Kart 8. How's 64?
Mario Kart 64 is still really, really good. It's
the best one, I think.
It was my favorite too, but I played it at a party not too long ago, and it was like almost impossible to play.
Yeah, you did lose a lot. I remember.
No, you mean I was sorry. This is all uncontextualized. We need to
objection hearsay, Your Honor, overruled.
Everybody's gonna love this.
Yeah, so I mean, I love Mario 64 still. It's also just fun playing it with a fresh pair of eyes. You know, it's fun playing with your son, just like sharing a new movie with someone that has never seen it.
I hate that.
It's like
so I don't like sharing things with people.
What you're saying is it's not like watching Mortal Kombat when you're in elementary school versus watching it as an adult.
It's exactly like that. Is what he's saying.
I think we're on the same wavelength there.
And he's saying it's like doing something that you love and hiding it and keeping it to yourself and never letting someone else know and never being able to share that with a human being. That's exactly what he's saying.
What I'm saying is maybe objectively speaking, Mario 64 isn't as great as I think it is.
No, that's false. Mario 64 is amazing. Mario Kart 64.
Oh, Mario 64 is almost unplayable.
We're gonna have to stop this podcast right now.
It's the camera angles.
It's the camera angles. It's practically a mini game.
It's like that's one of the few games I can go back and beat over and over and over again. I've played it like 5 or 6 times since the Wii came out. Yeah, it's amazing.
Right.
Do you know what's fun on Nintendo 64?
Yes.
Bomberman.
False. Well, which one? Barman Hero or Bomberman 64?
64.
Good. Barman Hero is fun, but it's only single player.
Bomberman 64 is like rent fodder when
false.
nothing else is available at Blockbuster.
It's own fodder / buy a memory card for it fodder, because that's the only way you can get your character to keep his clothing.
I remember getting
beautiful.
several hours of joy out of that game.
That game is great because
several hours of joy. That doesn't make it good.
Before the
then I
days
took
of
it back to Blockbuster.
before the wows of this world,
Hollywood Video.
You couldn't really deck your characters out a lot. Bomberman 64 allowed you to put on sweet capes once you found the treasure chest in the world.
Bomberman 64 is just a dress-up simulator,
and that's why I love it.
Isn't that what some of you guys say?
That is our favorite thing to say.
It's a top-down shooter.
It's a top-down dress. It's a top-down dress simulator.
It's a roguelike.
Well, there's roguelike and roguelikes.
Roguelike, yeah. We gotta be more specific here.
I miss you, Dank. I need him back to defend this stuff. So I'll talk about what I've been playing since you guys.
Wait. First, tell me what you've been playing.
I love this new troll mechanic.
So I've been playing a little bit of Cave Story Plus. You guys know Cave Story?
Yeah, actually.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, 2004 freemium game on the computers. Or actually, freeware.
Freeware.
Not freemium.
Freemium is pay to play plus, or free to play plus.
Yeah, plus you'll pay something. And they came out on Wii in 2008. I never picked up that. I finally picked up on PC a couple years ago, or I should say Mac, the better PC. Ew. And that's false.
Self-breaking PC.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's what I meant to say. But yeah, it was fun, but I couldn't get into it. And then it came out on the best console of our generation / the world, Nintendo Switch.
I was going to say the Wii U.
The Wii U, yeah. Everybody loves the Wii U. It's
Game
my
Boy.
favorite.
The thing I love about Switches is how easy they are to find.
Yeah, I know.
How accessible Nintendo's made them.
We definitely are trying to find one for somebody, and it's definitely not impossible to find.
We have 20 people looking for Wii.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard they had a shortage of parts.
Yeah, they're supposedly trying to take parts from Apple for phones or whatever.
Well, I guess because I never understood this before, but I guess they all manufacture their stuff in the same
in China.
places.
Yeah, they do stuff in China.
It's.
You ever heard of it's a country?
It's a country.
Do you know things like country? In Asia.
Asia, okay.
It's called China.
I thought those all the same place.
Ni hao. You ever
Ni
heard
hao.
of it?
Xie.
And some of us have lived there, okay, so that's not pandering or offensive.
My Chinese is pretty much limited to rush hour, so I'm pretty much tapped out.
Chris Tuckerman, the best teacher of all. No, Cave Story's great, though. It's like a Metroid-style game. You run around, you find parts and upgrades, and it's It's a lot of fun. It's stupid difficult, so like I'll play it, and then if I die more than 3 times, I have to set it down and like just get over it.
Just cool down, take a walk.
Cool down, take a walk, leave. I think I mentioned this last time. Beat Shantae. I think I said that last time we played. Shantae was great on Switch.
Your hairdresser?
Shantae.
No, I mean we haven't talked about that over the last 3 episodes.
We did. Yeah, thank you, Cenk, for being in.
Spoilers. I'm not even on those 3 episodes yet.
Sorry,
We got a surprise here. We're doing a little bit of spoiler territory.
Spoiler cast.
And I started Horizon Zero Dawn, PS4 game. I know Cenk and I know about it. Do you know about Bank Stank?
What is it called?
Stank Bank. Sorry. Stank Bank. Sorry. You Bank Stank.
Bank Stank. I mean, I answered
or
to all.
Steak. I just call you
So he's
Steak.
got Stank and Bank in it. He knows what we're talking about.
Or BS.
Or BS.
Whoa.
What?
Super
That might be confusing.
BS.
Another happy
BS.
What was the game title though?
Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn.
Are you sure it's not semicolon?
Horizon semicolon Zero Dawn. All the English lovers are gonna love this out there, man. They're gonna get a kick. No, do you know that yet?
Is zero spelled out?
Yeah,
or is it?
No. Yes, zero is spelled out.
I just,
It's cool. It's like an apocalyptic dino run around Zelda-esque thing. I didn't play it when it came out because Zelda came out 3 days later and was way better.
Mm-hmm.
But it's pretty fun. I'm having a hard time getting into it. Just I don't have a lot of time to like sit in front of a TV. So the Switch has been great because it's portable and I'll take it along with me. And when I have time, I'll just boot it up and shut it down. But it's good for a AAA title. It's really, really good. And
For a AAA title? What do you mean by that?
4 AAAs. So it's like there are 4 AAA titles within it.
That's not the joke I was
12
looking
days.
What I meant was, why did you mean it like for a AAA it happens to be good? What did you mean by that?
Well, just because there's been kind of a lot of, well, I guess this year's been different, but in the past there's been a lot of not great AAA titles. Like there was a game called The Order 1886 that Sony made, which was like it looked really cool. I actually bought it for $5.
I heard that it was good. I just heard it's too short.
Yeah, it's good. It's not very fun to play, to be honest, but it's really cool to look at, and the story looks cool, and you're like the Order of Lancelot or something like that, but it takes place in 1886 London, so it was cool, but I mean, $60 for that style of game just isn't worth it. So yeah, there's a lot of AAA games that just let you down, like the Assassin's Creed series, and honestly, and we do bash on them way too much, Sony, but a lot of Sony's first-party support before this year was really, I mean, the only ones I can think of that I really liked were Bloodborne and Uncharted 4. Otherwise, I didn't care for, I'm trying to think what else they released even. Drive Club, that's a AAA like racing game that looks stupid. I didn't care about The Order. I didn't care for Knack or the Killzone series. So this is good. It's from the makers of Killzone. That's also another thing. Like Killzone is pretty much, when it came out, it was supposed to be the Halo killer.
Killzone is just a terrible game, though.
Yeah, it's not fun. Yeah, it's really not fun.
They called it the Halo killer, and it just did not.
It did. It killed itself.
It killed itself.
We will kill ourselves in front of Halo.
So all you mean to say is that it was surprising despite the fact that it was AAA?
Yeah. Like I've been playing a lot of indie games recently, and besides the Nintendo outset stuff, I did really like Prey, which was AAA as well, but I didn't buy Dishonored 2. I didn't buy stuff, and I mean, I buy a lot of video games. So AAA, this is like one of the few times where I didn't buy almost every AAA game that came out and played. So Horizon is good. There are a couple other games I missed from the beginning half of the year. Thankfully, we're in this summer drought where nothing is coming out after E3. But there is a lot to talk about news-wise. There's a bunch of sales going on. There's a bunch of cool stuff that was just announced. So this is a short intro because we don't have any Final Fantasy to talk about. But don't worry, we'll put that in the news.
Episode Prompto came out.
We do have some of that to talk about.
Always Final Fantasy to talk about.
Spoileries.
It's like a bakery for spoilers.
So we're going to be back. We're going to take a break real fast.
If you're tired of sifting through flea markets for rare and unique games, we can help. Retro City Games in Henderson, Nevada, only 5 minutes from the Las Vegas Strip, has all your favorite gaming staples, classics, and a wide selection of rare games with new stuff always appearing on our shelves. Come in and chat with Nicole or Doug about your love of games and watch as they help you complete your collection or find your childhood favorite. And don't forget, Retro City Games loves trade-ins. So if you have any Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega, Xbox, PlayStation, or even PC games, come in and visit Retro City Games today. Welcome to the new metropolis of gaming, Retro City Games.
We are back. Sorry we had to do the dude, aka live the life. We're back to talk about some news this week. There's been some rad butts, aka stuff that's been going on.
Look at your reaching for a word right there. And that's what it came
Butts
up
is the main word.
Butts.
If you want to find us, go to butts.com or butts.butts.
I mean, don't actually go there because
do not go to butts.butts.
You won't find us.
If we get that URL though, then they find us. So we just got to get some money to buy that URL. We're never going to buy Super BS. Let's just get that out of the way. But we will buy a bunch of other funny ones that link to us. Hey, real talk. Favorite game of this podcast, the thing that kicked us off, Final Fantasy 15. Dank is missing out right now big time because we got a new episode. Episode Prompto. Everyone's favorite character, the loudmouth, the talkative one. What do you guys think about him? I know you didn't get to play at Stank Bank, but you probably heard his talk. He's the snappy selfie guy.
He didn't annoy me as much as he annoyed everybody else.
Yeah, I didn't mind him either. I thought he was kind of cool.
He had his moments where I was like, dude, they're trying too hard with his dialogue. But it didn't bother me.
I just want to kiss
it. It didn't bother me.
There's just some moments where I was like, not just kiss him.
Seriously, this tension is killing me.
There's a lot of sexual tension in that game, man.
So why do people hate him and why do people love him?
Just so you know how like in animes and like JRPGs they always have and the world they have that one character who's always just like super talkative and he says he's like the comedic
Reno type guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Prompto.
Yeah, and he's also like he takes selfies and he's like taking pictures while you play and so a lot of people hate him, but from what I heard about the DLC is because he has guns, he's the only character in the game who uses guns. It plays like third-person shooter, so it's actually pretty fun.
It reminds me of Dirge of Cerebrus.
Did you play it?
Yeah.
And Cerberus, you
Hey,
idiot.
you know what I can
Sorry. It took me a long time to get that out.
Can you tell us how to pronounce that in the chat, please? Oh wait, we don't have a chat.
Chat. Hey, chat, please tell Jank that we do have a chat. Link that below, too. Can someone please link the
proper pronunciation?
So you already played it?
Yeah,
you didn't mention this. We talked about what we played.
I didn't think
you lied to us. Sorry, listenership.
Sorry, I played it for less than 5 minutes. I got it last night.
I don't care.
It downloaded. It finally finished about midnight. So I was like, I'll try it out.
Is it DLC or is it a separate game?
It's
DLC, yeah.
So, yeah, they're releasing chapters for each of the characters in the game, except Noctis, apparently. But did you hear...
Well, that's because you play as Noctis.
They're saying at PAX they're going to have a big Final Fantasy announcement.
It's probably the co-op DLC.
No, but we already know about the co-op. This is going to be something that we don't know
I know what it is. They just announced it today. The iOS Final Fantasy 15.
No, but we already know about that. So
well, I don't care. That's the biggest announcement ever.
Too.
Let's talk about 15's free-to-play mobile strategy game, Clash of Clans, Game of War tie-in called Final Fantasy 15. That's the game that I've wanted, okay? I never wanted this crappy AAA.
None of that.
So what do you think about Stank Bank? I know you have been living vicariously through us with Final Fantasy 15, but what do you think about
the podcast? Outside of the podcast.
What do you think about like what you've heard? Like, is it a game that interests you? Would you play if it was on PC? I know you're primarily a PC gamer.
I was until my daughter took up permanent residence in my computer lab.
Your PC.
In my PC.
This is a lawnmower now.
She's in the computer.
This is a lawnmower, man. No, don't hold it from. Sorry, Zoolander. We apologize.
So I actually can't play my PC at all anymore. So I'm now thinking of actually purchasing Xbox One games because prior to this, Xbox One has just basically been a Netflix machine in my house.
He's lying to you guys. He loves it. He plays games on it daily. You do own a game, though.
I do own a game. Not many games to necessitate an entire rack. I do own Fallout 4.
Have you played it?
I have played it. I probably put about 20 hours into it.
It's pretty fun.
It is pretty fun. I did like it.
I hate the loading.
I feel kind of bummed out being in that world for too long. I think it kind of weighs on me a little bit, and so I it's not like a game like Skyrim where I feel like really just relaxed, kind of being in the world and walking around and stuff. And Fallout 4 to me is not a very relaxing game because you have to like sit up forward and read all the text, and it's just kind of a tense game. So I'm only really able to play games a couple hours really late at night when everyone's asleep in my house. And it's not a very conducive game to play.
Yeah, it's also, for me, one of the biggest problems is that Fallout 4 is it's a game where it's got a lot of really cool parts. Like, it's cool to explore and see the computers, do the hacking, meet the people.
Yeah.
But then it's got stuff, and we've talked about this before, but things like load times that are over a minute.
The load times
that are so stupid that it's like, that's why I stopped playing Prey.
Does it get glitchy and freeze during the
The
load
longer
screens?
you play.
Why you stopped playing Prey?
Yeah.
Dude, you, on podcast 11, the episode I listened to today, you
don't quote this.
You were gushing about Prey.
I love
you.
So
were obsessed with
okay, so
Prey.
here's the thing. Prey, and we're going to backtrack
BioShock.
real quick. And BioShock was probably cool too when I used to be able to put up with a minute and a half load times. But Prey is a great game because at the beginning you're going through these rooms and you don't have to leave them. You're like exploring. But at the end of the game, you have to just run through rooms and then go to load screens. And sometimes I'll spend a minute and a half to 2 minutes in a room and then a minute and a half to 2 minutes in a load screen. And I have to go to 3 different load screens to complete a side quest. So it's like at that point I'm like, I don't want to play this anymore. I feel bad. It's the very end of the game. It was fun, but
that's definitely an advantage PC gaming has to Xbox and console.
Xbox One X, which we mentioned a little bit last week, is supposed to reduce load times. It doesn't have a solid state hard drive.
You mean?
Scorpio is now called Xbox One X.
Oh, okay.
Since as of last week.
I didn't hear that last X on there.
Yeah, Xbox.
Do you know
Xbox.
what I always loved about Skyrim was when you walk into towns and after the loading screen's done, everyone is paused for a second and then they just go about their business.
Or like objects fall from the ground.
She's coming, guys. It's coming.
It's like the toys in Toy Story.
Andy's coming. Andy's coming. So what are you guys going to get Skyrim on this year, though? PSVR, Switch?
Oh, yeah.
E3 should have been called the Year of Skyrim because they have so many Skyrim games.
I might buy it on Switch.
Oh, I might too because I just want to play stuff on Switch. And that Super Mario game looks amazing.
Is it the remastered edition at least?
No.
Oh my god!
I hope it
comes with the DLC though.
Wow, I can't even comprehend that. That is just too ridiculous to me.
It would be funny if it didn't come with
game.
DLC and then they try to sell us the same DLC.
Like, yeah, right?
They would do that.
If they brand new DLC coming out.
Yeah, if they try to sell us that, I might just on principle have to not get it because it's like it should come with at least.
This is why video game companies should not be publicly traded. It's so.
That's why they should be, so I can make all the money off of them.
Do you own Nintendo stock?
Yeah, I wish because I would actually make money right now. No, okay. So back to what we were talking about before. We were talking about episode Prompto on Final Fantasy 15 and how you were talking about
that.
Console gaming.
I think okay. So given my situation in probably transitioning to console gaming in the next coming age, I would be tempted to get Final Fantasy 15. Although you guys have had a pretty positive review of it so far, I would be worried that a casual gamer as myself would not have the stamina to finish a game like that. Is that true or not true?
It's not that long. Honestly, if you mainline it, you can finish in 20 hours.
If you sit down, you can play it pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I know 20 hours is a lot of time, but if you mainline it, it's really it's a fun game. The thing that bogs it down, as you probably heard us talk about before, is just some of the side quests are so pointless and repetitive that's like, and like I remember I had like fun the entire time I played it, but there were moments where I was like, should I just stop doing some side quests and finish this? And then I kept doing side quests. And then after a while, I was like, I need to stop doing side quests.
You have to remember, too, like, there are some side quests that you're supposed to play after the game's over.
Yeah, for sure. And there's, like, hunts and stuff. There's a lot of frustrating...
The hunts sounded cool. I like that.
The hunts are cool.
It was, like, it really reminded me of royal culture, like old matriarch...
Yeah.
Not matriarch culture, but, like...
matriarchal.
Yeah, matriarchal culture. No, but, like, monarchy culture. Like, Game of Thrones did hunts, you know? Like, that's how, what's-his-face, Robert Baratheon died. I thought that was cool.
Spoiler, guys.
Season
Oh my
1,
god.
90 years ago.
90 years ago when Game of Thrones came out.
That's,
it was 19.
that's probably when George R. Martin wrote the first one, 90 years ago.
Yeah, probably, man. Sidebar, real quick. I am so worried he's not going to finish that series before he dies.
Dude, he's not going to finish that series.
He still hasn't finished the sixth book, and he is not good.
Game of Thrones is basically George R. Martin's wet dream that he just put into like 4 or 5 books.
And it's awesome.
And
the first 3 books are so good, though.
He's waiting for one more. Like, he just goes to bed all hot and bothered. And like, please give me the next
chapter. Those first
Did you say the first 3 books?
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah, the first 3 books are good.
And then when you get Feast for Crows,
oh my gosh.
I did like Dance with Dragons.
I did too. I like Dance with Dragons.
5?
Yeah. Getting through Feast for Crows is almost impossible, though. You have to
It's like they pull you out because they end was Sword of Storms.
Yeah, Sword of Storms.
That one ends like really intensely, and then the next one they throw you into all these characters you don't really give a crap about.
And my favorite part was when Brienne travels, which she does for hours on it.
I hate the Brienne sequences.
Oh, the Brienne stories are so bad.
I don't hate them as much as the Cersei ones, though.
Oh, really? I actually remember I was okay with some of those. I know they mainly took place in prison, but yeah. Switching this back to games, did anybody play the Game of Thrones RPG that came out in 2000?
It was a Telltale game, wasn't it?
I want to say it was 2011.
Licensed games kind of rub me the wrong way.
No, not the... Yeah, most of the time they do the same for me. But the Telltale game was 2015 or 2014, but... no, 2015. No, 2014. Whatever. It came out a couple years ago.
Did you play it?
I played the Telltale game, but I didn't play... It came out with like a computer RPG that came out during the first season of Game of Thrones on Xbox 360 and PC and PS3. Do you guys know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think I've seen it.
Yeah, it looks really bad, but I always wanted to play it because I just love the show and the book so much. But
Season 1 is strong.
Season 1
great.
Season 1 is great.
It is strong.
And you know what? The show is still fun throughout. It definitely loses some steam compared to Season 1, but it's awesome.
Season 1 is just it's really cool because it really introduces you to the world, and you really feel like I just love the Robert Baratheon Ned dynamic. I thought that was just such a cool
Ned's
character
just such a cool character to begin with. He's just like a rad person. But so you were talking about how that is kind of similar in Final Fantasy, how the patriarchy.
Oh, I just like that one. That was one very small aspect of what I thought was a cool addition to Final Fantasy. I just like that because he's supposed to be a prince, right?
Yeah, he's the prince, and spoilers happens in the first 5 minutes. His dad dies, so
yeah, I heard
he's essentially to become a king. It's a great game. Like I don't want to keep retraying this because we've gone over it so many times. It really loses steam in the second half, mainly because it feels like they rushed that. Like, I wanted the second half to last way longer and be, like, way cooler and more in-depth and big. Like, you go to this place, I can't remember what it's called, but it's, like, this island with, like, a water city. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And it's where, like, a big story moment happens, but it's just, like, a super short segment.
You can't do any side quests after that. You have to wait till, right?
Yeah, you can't do... Well, no, they keep letting you travel back in the Dream Dog thing.
That's right.
But anyways, okay, so that was one part of this week, was the episode Prompto that came out. It sounds like you're playing it. I'm probably not going to get to it for a while.
Did you watch the trailer they put up online, though, of episode...
Ignis?
Ignis.
No, I didn't. I love 15. I fall off of DLC, like, so quickly. Just because DLC is great if you want to stick with one game, but because I love jumping around and playing lots of stuff, it's so hard for me to be like, oh, hey, let me go back to this game that
It's really hard to do that, I found.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just
I kind of lose interest in games after...
Yeah, after you beat it, you're like, it's beaten. I don't want to do that again. I hate DLC, and I never bought one, but I did buy the Citadel DLC for Mass Effect 3.
That's the only, and I beat all the Mass Effect 2 DLC. That is like the only... Yeah. Mass Effect 2 DLC is the only game where I beat
the underwater
all
one,
the
right?
DLC.
There's an underwater one, and
You
also
do
like a
the
protein
Asari
one.
Yeah, you go to the Asari.
What's the one where, what's her name? The Asari lady is...
Yeah, you're the Shadow Broker.
Shadow Broker.
Yeah,
Shadow Broker.
That one. And you get, that's the one where you get the guy, I forgot his name, but he's like a Australian dude or whatever.
Oh, Zaid.
Yeah, Zaid.
Yeah, Zaid's awesome. He's actually South African.
Bonus DLC. Oh, man, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite characters.
But that actually, I think one of the reasons why DLC affects maybe us differently is because we're of that generation where we grew up with games that didn't have DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Occasional games did release expansions if you played PC games, like Age of Empires and StarCraft and all that stuff. But, we used to buy N64 games and Super Nintendo games, put them in, play them, finish them, and we didn't come back.
Yeah.
Couldn't put expansions on cartridges.
It's like hammer it in there on a separate.
And this is something I don't want to go too deep into because we were talking about it when Dank was last on the podcast. Is live games, live service games is what things are moving to, where games never end.
Yeah, like Blizzard games.
I think
World of Warcraft is.
Well, and Overwatch.
Aside from the expansions,
Overwatch right now is
all
like
MOBA
so hot,
generation
and,
games.
Yeah, I mean Overwatch sold for $60, and then it sells like tons of loot boxes, so you can make your characters look cool.
Yeah.
But I want to get to a few other news topics before we talk about the biggest segment for today. The other thing that came out recently was the mini SNES Classic. As you guys know, I am big time hard-ons. Heart-ons.
Hadron, I think. Hadron Collider.
Hadron Collider. I've got a big heart-on for the Nintendo Switch, but Nintendo announced the mini SNES Classic. What's going on with that, Jank?
Yeah, they just announced it, and it has a pretty nice.
What's it cost?
It's supposed to MSRP at it was $80.
$80? That's not bad.
But it's not going to.
Well, it will MSRP that if you can.
Its suggested retail is $80. But remember what happened with the NES
Classic
was that everyone was selling it for like $150 and
I'm gonna try to
depending on where you go.
I'm gonna try to buy one just so I can buy a house in Orange County, man. Buy one solid, trade it for a house in Orange County.
Dude, Nintendo are dicks, dude. I hate the fact that they announce these things and then they say we're only gonna sell them for 4 months.
Hey, at least they told you that this time. To be fair, I'm not trying to say that they're great, but the mini NES Classic, they didn't tell anybody that they were gonna discontinue it. So they're like, hey, just so you know, we're done making these. And it's like, wait, what? At least they said, hey, it's a holiday item. We're only going to make it here. It makes me upset because we've been talking about it and going on virtual console. I think this is going to stop the virtual console for a bit because, why would you release a virtual console when you have...
Well, that's
a drop in the bucket for a virtual console.
Console.
It's like giving a ravenous beast a slice of pizza. It's you're still gonna.
We'll want it soon.
They're
gonna
try to milk these classic systems for as much as they can before giving us the virtual console, in which they will still charge us for the games that we want to play.
Wait, 2 quick questions about the mini. How mini is it? Or Mickey?
No, don't listen to this, Disney, please.
2. Are they going to be making any games with it? Or they just count on you?
So here, let's go with the games list. Do you know some of them off the top of your head? And we'll talk about it. So the Mini NES Classic, these are games. It's pretty much like you have a RetroPie, right?
I do.
It is pretty much the same as that.
No, I understand the concept, but how small is it? Is what I'm asking.
It looks like it's the size of a Super Nintendo controller.
How do games fit in it?
It's just, there's USB drive. There's no game. It's not like
so they're encouraging you to download ROMs.
No, it's not download ROMs. The system only has 21 games on it.
Oh my!
So those dumb Ataris that they've been selling for years.
I got the list. Here they are. We have Contra 3.
Let's go over these slowly because there's some great ones actually.
Contra 3, Donkey Kong Country.
Awesome. Oh my gosh! I'm just kidding. That's my favorite game ever.
Earthbound.
Earthbound is great. I love it.
Final Fantasy 3.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Which is 6.
F-Zero.
I'd like to play F-Zero. I haven't played
Kirby
it.
Superstar.
Ooh, I love me some C-Star.
Kirby's Dream Course.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's like one of my... What are you talking about? That's one of the best ones. Okay, go back. What was that one?
Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
I never played it. Did you guys play it?
Yeah. I played it on the RetroPie.
Oh, really? I've never really played more than the opening.
The only Zelda I ever played is Breath of the Wild.
Oh man, Zelda's so good. This guy's an idiot. Sorry, you listeners. I'm sorry for Jake. I
was a PlayStation kid. All right, I never owned.
Sorry, we'll get him off.
We feel bad for you.
Yeah, honestly, when you're a kid, Nintendo is the console.
I got Mega Man X.
Oh, it's my other favorite game.
Secret of Mana.
Awesome. Yeah, it's awesome.
Star Fox 2, which has never been released.
Yeah, I kind of want to try it.
Cool.
That is a really cool thing.
The question is, though, can Star Fox 2 be nominated for Game of the Year?
I don't think it will. It can probably, but...
That is an interesting question. Are there specific categories within Game of the Year?
Well, it has to be a new game, but this is technically a new game.
A nude tane.
A nude tane. Can you load up nude tane?
Street Fighter 2, Super Castlevania 4.
I played a little bit. It's okay.
Super Ghouls and Ghost.
Never played.
Super Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars.
Yes.
Gag barf.
What are you talking about? Super Mario RPG is like the best RPG from Super. That is my first role-playing game that I ever played.
When I rented that game, I was like, oh my goodness, a new Mario game. I love Mario games.
Well, it's because you're an idiot and you thought it was a Mario game.
Yeah,
I went in there knowing what it was, and I loved it, and I was smitten by it.
That's like saying, I knew that I was going to get trash for Christmas, and I loved it.
Yeah, then you're
I expected a bike, and I got
trash. Okay? I was happy and satisfied with that trash. No, it's an awesome game. You need to go back.
Okay.
Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Super
I've never played
Punch
Super...
Out.
Wait. We've all played Super Mario World. Have you guys played Super Metroid?
No.
Yeah,
I played a little bit of it.
that's
I liked what I played.
I love watching speedruns of Super Metroid.
That is probably
Whoa.
it's one of the
It is
few games
exquisite.
I like watching speedruns.
It is intense platforming.
Super Punch Out.
Yeah, I've never played
Yoshi's
it.
Island.
Oh, that's
I
good.
like that game, yeah.
Be careful.
Do you really?
Be careful.
That's it.
Is that it?
What was the last one you said?
Yoshi's Island. So
Oh.
it's 21 games. It's 20, but they're all saying the one for Star Fox 2, which is really cool.
That's a good set. That's a good anthology.
For $80, it's not bad at all. Like, I kind of... Like, the NES Classic, Mini NES Classic or whatever, I didn't care to own it. Like, NES games don't hold up very well.
Well, it was before our time anyways.
Yeah.
I owned one. I owned
would
an
you,
NES.
like, do you want to go through the headache of waiting in line for something, or would you rather just buy, like, Air Games has those recreations of those old consoles? Like, they have the Sega... The Sega version has like 50 games on it. You can buy their Nintendo version has like 50 games on it.
Yeah,
so why?
There's no Nintendo version of these.
Is it?
No.
No, there's a company that makes them. I saw it.
Yeah, not legally.
I saw it. At E3 they had a whole booth set up that had.
They're not legal.
How could you be at E3 if it's not legal?
Okay, so Retron is legal because you have to own the actual cartridges to play them. You can't.
How is that regulated?
I assume Nintendo regulates
You
them.
can't. How you? That's ridiculous.
Okay, well,
you can't regulate that.
Whatever. Like the thing is, like
you have these consoles. Okay, you can do it. You can play it. I trust you.
But I'm just saying, like, I would highly doubt that Nintendo, the owner of the mini SNES, would be like, oh yeah, I'll let somebody else sell this with 50 games for $10 or whatever, because it doesn't cost $80 to make this. You know, it is a fair price for that many good games. I think it breaks down to $4 a game, but it comes with 2 controllers, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's a good deal. If you get it for $80, you won't.
I mean, I like
The
totally
thing
will.
that's
I'm just
stupid-
gonna
the
get
things
a house.
what bothers me about the whole thing is that Nintendo doesn't want to create, like, they don't want to make a whole lot to give to everybody, and people are going to be scalping these
We
things.
can't even find a Switch right now.
Yeah,
and
that's
let them put that on.
That's another thing. Nintendo does stuff like that, and then people buy them and they scalp them and they get like 2 or 3 times what it's worth. But Nintendo doesn't see any of that profit, so you'd think that they would.
You
take
think
that
they
into
would, but I don't know.
consideration.
They love that. That's like their thing. We've talked about it dozens of times. When they had Fire Emblem Fates, Dank and I both wanted to buy the collector's edition, which had the whole thing on one cartridge, and they only made like 20 of them. So we couldn't do that. It's
20.
Oh, whatever. It was a small enough amount where they were going
only.
where there was like 80. It was $80 when it came out, and by the day it was actually released, it was $240 to buy it online.
Yeah.
So it was stupid.
Who would ever do that?
I bought 10 of them online. But no, I think the SNES Classic, like, while it's not what I want to hear, hey, we're doing the Virtual Console and all the games you previously bought come over for free and you rule and here's $1 million.
That will never happen.
Nintendo will give me $1 million. I promise you that.
Everyone should just screw all of these companies and just build a RetroPie with me.
And don't tell the FBI. We're like knock on the door.
that out. Also,
Sorry,
our FBI.
I own the console, so it's perfectly legal.
Sorry, guys, all of our listeners, we don't condone this type of... I'm just...
30-year-old video games.
We don't condone this type of stealing. No, but it is a... that's an interesting concept. And actually, that leads us to our last stop.
Real quick, take a break.
No, we don't need to take a break.
Please. Dave,
Oh my goodness. Okay, whatever.
You revealed my identity.
Oh my
Delete that.
goodness.
Hey everyone, venture into the pop culture cosmos today, where you'll hear our conversations on different topics within the world of movies, TV, video games, comic books, technology, board gaming, and more. You'll also get a taste of some of our other shows within the cosmos as well. So come on and join us each week as we delve into the pop culture cosmos.
Welcome to the Pop Culture Cosmos.
So actually, I was gonna lead into something really cool and tie it all together, and then James was like, "Yeah, I'm an idiot. I like ruining every single thing that you do." And
I said that word for word.
You did, yeah. That's exactly what he said. And bank stank bank steak. Was like,
steak.
Okay, I'll go with him because he sucks. So what's the last piece of news that you have to add? You dumb idiot.
Mr. Redundant over there.
Now you never know. I'm just gonna be quiet here.
No, don't do that, please. I'm sorry.
Dragon Age. They had said that they are.
Yeah, we talked about how we loved it earlier.
Currently hiring for Dragon Age, which means
For Dragon Age, they're calling it the opposite. So Dragon Age 4, they're calling it for Dragon Age.
Yeah.
Yoda
Number
is
4.
managing
For Dragon Age.
For Dragon Age.
That's cool. I love Inquisition. We heard Bank Stank say he loves it. Dank loves it.
Yep.
You loved it. We all beat it 100%.
I loved it as much as I
dragons.
love the gummy ship of Kingdom Hearts 1.
He loves that. He
Whoa.
loves the gummy ship.
That's saying something.
Every single person on this podcast listening now knows how much you love the gummy ship, which is a lot.
It's a lot.
Well, anyways, before when I had this awesome segue where we're talking about what a mini SNES is worth, I want to talk to you guys about games like and their value, because right now there's like a Steam summer sale, an Xbox Live sale starts on Friday. I'm sure PlayStation will do some type of summer sale, and in reality, these games are still retailing at $60 when they come out, which they did when we were like 10 years old. So nearly 20 years ago, games were the same price they are today.
Were they though?
They
64 games when they first came out. I think they were like 50 and 60.
Super Mario RPG was $70 when I bought it as a kid.
Yeah, I remember
at a
that.
store.
Really? Because
Yeah.
I remember PlayStation games cost like $40, like when they were brand new. There,
50. It was 50 for a while.
Were they?
It wasn't 40. Yeah, 50 was a placeholder for a time. Then went up to 60 during the PlayStation.
I
2
saw
era.
some games that were 80. I remember like some Acclaim games.
Yeah. On the Super
Did they come with
Nintendo.
anything, or they just...
No, just Nintendo 64,
Yeah.
weird, random,
They
arbitrary
just were
prices.
allowing people to not have normal. They like do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Structure.
Jeez.
But the thing is, games were at least the price they are now, sometimes even more. And like inflation would say that they should be worth now like $100 to $120 a game. Yet all of us who are playing, I know we now have like hundreds of millions of people who play video games, whereas like when we were younger it was probably in the millions or tens of millions. But like it's crazy to think, like I know I personally wait for sales to buy a lot of games, even though it's only $60, which is less than, it's like going to the movie twice with another person. It's like I still wait for a sale a lot of times to buy a game for $40. And I just want to talk to you guys what you think about that, because like games are made by lots of people, and every time we wait till they go on sale, I mean, it's not like it's a bad thing. They sell them so they can make money, but it's just it's an interesting concept.
Well, think about it like this: even when the prices drop and enough people buy them, they still make a crap load of money off of them.
Yeah, sure, yeah, but it's like they probably do make more money than they used to, but compared to the Xbox 360 era, I'm not so sure anymore. Because I feel like at that era, people were buying garbage loads of games, like they were just buying truckloads. And now there are so many games, people are waiting until games go on sale because they have like crazy backlogs.
Well, I think you should think about it in the context of how we've been trained to consume video games.
Yeah.
Like, these companies are not dumb, and they know that there are many different types of gamers. There are the gamers who spend their parents' allowance and their trust fund money on games the day that they come out for full price, and they reach that market no matter what. They always will, no matter what the price points are. But the people, like the millennial generation on the other end of the spectrum that's getting older, they know that these people, the casual gamers, the older gamers, people with kids, they're not going to buy games until they go on sale. Right. And the way that the companies are looking at it, they're saying, the only way to reach that market is to put the games on sale. We're not going to lose anything. We're only going to gain. And then also when you're looking at it from the standpoint of a digital sale, there's like almost no upkeep cost to keeping the games. There's no inventory.
I mean, it's just servers cost.
Yeah,
it's not that high.
I mean, it's arbitrary compared to keeping a brick and mortar store. Keeping like 100 copies of one game on file and inventory.
Yeah, if you buy physical games nowadays, you can get them on sale for like sometimes half price within, like Prey was $30 within
just to get it off the shelf, just to get it out
of
the
store.
Inventory. If you go into like Target and look at their clearance section, they have all kinds of games for
they do, and they're good. I saw
$20.
Battlefront there yesterday for like $15. I didn't buy it because I knew that I'd have to pay an arm and a leg just to play it.
Oh yeah, you don't have Xbox Live.
I don't
do
have
you?
Xbox Live. I don't have the pass or whatever. Pass.
I think too, like
Yeah, Star Wars Battlefront was really bad about
we
that.
want to spend less money on video games, but I think it's because like we know what good video games are because we grew up in an era of Super Mario and Star Fox, Spyro. No, Spyro's like
Spyro, his favorite game.
I just remember like really liking that game as a
The
kid. but, like,
PlayStation kid.
Hey, speaking of Crash, comes out this Friday.
Yeah, I saw
They're
that.
redoing the remasters on PlayStation 4 this
Trilogy.
Friday. Worth $40.
That's like
worth every penny.
remastering Super Bad. Like you would never
Yeah,
want to
I would watch
movie
that
again.
every
Yeah.
day. A remaster of Super Bad. I would watch every
knocked
minute.
out 4-year-old version.
Knocked up.
Knocked Up, which was better than Super Bad.
Yeah, of
I
course.
rolled infinitely.
But yeah, we know what good games are because we grew up playing these games like
Playing
when
shitty games.
no, but we
We
grew,
played
a lot of the
Bubsies.
A
franchises.
lot of that's nostalgia though. A lot of those games are bad.
Yeah,
a lot
like
of the
Bubsy is
franchises.
really bad.
Yeah, Bubsy. Jeez, didn't they? Someone
They
say
announced a new
announced
Bubsy.
a really
No,
good
they
Bubsy,
did.
You
Yeah.
can talk about the news right before
Yeah.
E3. Somebody announced Bubsy.
But
Like,
we grew up playing these games back when the franchises were brand new, and now you have these kids who only want to spend money on or play games like Call of Duty or Battlefield or
these dumb kids.
or whatever. Yeah, whatever the new Halo
Or-
is. Like they
or
don't.
Tetris or Super Mario Brothers.
Well, I mean,
or
you-
Gaming bars.
Like we talked about this before, Final Fantasy 15. There are kids who were like born and they're like
Yeah,
old
they're
enough to
playing
play it now. So
when
it's
it
like
when it was announced, it was in a 10-year announcement
yeah,
cycle.
It was
So
like versus
there were people
13
born
at first.
before and played it. Like, wait, what's this game? I'm 10 years old. You were born
But
after this
Well,
was announced.
It's hard to pull new gamers, like younger kids, into existing franchises. Like they don't want to play the RPGs that we played growing up. They just want to play whatever their friends are playing, which is usually Call of Duty, Star Wars, or some big multiplayer game.
And those games change daily, but I just think the idea behind it is like we are paying less than ever for games, and it's strange to think that because the games cost more than ever. Like the cost to make a single game is in the hundreds. It's not hundreds. It's in the tens of millions of dollars now.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting thing because these sales come around and I look at stuff and I'm like, yeah, this is a game I would buy for $30 or $40. I'm not gonna pay $60 for it.
Yeah.
And if you're really frugal, you can buy like games after they come out for like $6. Like Shadow of Mordor, I saw $4, and that was a great game. I actually paid $60 for that. It came out when the Xbox One was new, and there just wasn't a lot of games to play at the time.
Yeah.
Also, too, like gamers, like we're a bunch of cheap bastards. Like for
that's
real.
why
Like,
there's a site called Cheap Ass Gamer.
when we were kids, we were basically spending our parents' money on video games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a strange thing. I just like bringing it up because it's, I mean, in truth, the game industry is changing so much, and a lot of people thought it was moving towards iOS, and there's still a lot of kids who just play those games, but
It's
I
a thumb
think
sweat. I'll tell you, it's a
thumb sweat. It's the thumb sweat to stop.
Sweat.
But those aren't. I don't think those are retaining that much money, to be honest. Like I think once the kids get older, they jump to PC or console gaming, or they drop off gaming altogether.
Or they're just not gamers. They're just people who, my buddy at work plays Clash of Clans, so I gotta look good for the boss and play Clash of Clans with him. Like those people will always exist.
Yeah, definitely not them. I only
Do
play
they
Clash
lose
Clans.
on purpose so they get a promotion?
It just depends. I mean, because some bosses might detect that and sense the patronization, and it might hurt you. Could hurt you in the board meeting.
Sure, you get fired for beating Clash of Clans.
Or losing to your boss on purpose. He may not like that either.
You are far too good at this game. You're fired.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that today.
No, it's an interesting concept. I think, though, that companies... Okay, so for one, companies wouldn't continue making franchises that weren't profitable.
Yeah.
And the games...
Which sucks. Companies should do stuff because they love it.
Right.
And their shareholders won't understand.
But also...
Talking about Nintendo?
No, it's just something to... It's just interesting, too, because the gaming industry is notorious for underpaying their employees.
Yeah.
And...
It's crunch time where people have to work crazy hours.
Yeah. And they it's funny because they capitalize on the fact that their employees are in it for the artistic expression. They're doing something that they love, doing something that they believe in. They want to change people's lives. But at the end of the day, it's the game is designed to make money. So it's kind of like this interesting competing reality where like the group of people who are actually doing the work want the artistic expression, are getting paid nothing, and the people at the top are milking that. They're abusing that mindset of their employees, paying them less, making more money. And so it's like a vicious cycle, but it's also like a symbiotic relationship, because those people, they want to be supported and they want to be able to express themselves, but then the top people want to make the money.
Yeah, okay, Bethesda's intro video at their conference, you got all the little kids up there, all the sons and daughters going, yeah, my dad makes video games, he makes people's dreams come true, but they didn't have the part in there where the kids are like, I haven't seen my dad in 5 months. Like,
you stole it from another podcast, you bastard!
Yeah, I was just listening
I actually literally heard that joke.
Yeah.
I heard that joke earlier today.
Yeah, so did I.
And it was actually really
really funny stuff.
Thank you, Craig Miller.
Yeah, we're sharing it.
We're out tomorrow. But yeah, that's true. People spend a lot of time on games and they crunch time, and it's not a very good pay. I think about it, I'm always stoked when I see that indie game from that one developer who, there's Steam Spy that lets you see how many games are sold roughly. And, I love it when I see, hey, he sold his game at $20 and he had 100,000 sales. So he made at least $2 million. Because games cost a lot to make. Even on the small scale, you're putting at least, $100,000 in. So I know I'm part of the problem where I buy a lot of games at cheap discounted prices, but that's just because I like playing a lot of games, and I can't just buy them at $60 or else I'd be totally broke. And
I don't see what the problem is. Are you worried about not supporting the industry that you want to continue supporting?
I think it's kind of like that because most of the other art industries like music and film have kind of become irrelevant in a way. They still put out stuff, but they don't make a lot of money for what they do. Most of the people just take their products. But gaming, that's a lot harder to do unless you really, really work hard to steal modern games.
Well, it's an extremely competitive industry now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
well, not only that, it's really hard to pirate modern games. Where people can pirate music and movies, all stuff, and just take them. Games are harder, so people at least are still buying them, which I'm excited because that allows it to keep going.
Do you remember the days when people used to buy chips and put them into their PlayStations?
They still do that, man. You can't. It's hard to do that with this modern.
What?
Like Doritos?
Like Doritos.
Chips, yeah.
They put and if you had the
chips.
Cooler Ranch kind, you could play games from any country.
Oh my gosh. Cooler Ranch.
Cooler Ranch.
I love that Cooler Ranch.
I mean,
those industries still make money. It's just there's an inundation of indie people, and those people don't make money.
Yeah, I think music doesn't make very much
that
money.
That might be one thing too. A lot of people grew up playing games are now making games. They might not be putting money into
the games because they're making
games, but they're putting into their own. So that's just one factor to consider.
Yeah, all I know is I'm gonna wait till every game is super cheap and not help any publisher I can because I hate them all. And I wish games would all crush and die.
There's nothing wrong with buying something on sale. Do you feel guilty about buying a toaster on sale?
Yes.
You want electronic appliances to continue, right?
I want that toaster.
I want to support Cuisinart.
I go find that maker of that toaster and I hand him the money myself and I say, sir, I love the product you made. I love you. You're right. It's not that serious and I'm not going to stop doing it. But it's just good to talk about and remind ourselves, hey, this never went up in price. Movies went up in price. When we were kids, it was $6 to go to a movie, and now it's
that's the theaters,
15.
Though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's how most people consume movies. Otherwise, they're free on Netflix.
That's following a standard inflation model, though, right? Because you were saying that video games aren't following.
They're not following that. They're staying stagnant, and then during sales, they drop off in price. So.
Well, movies too. You could pirate a movie anywhere.
That's what I'm saying, though. The difference is games are hard to pirate, so that's why I think we see so many sales and still so much sales of games that people are able to stay in business. Whereas movies, I think they mainly make all their money nowadays in the theater. So if they don't make that money, it's done.
I think something that we're not considering is the psychology of what video game companies or what Steam or what these vendors do to put games on sale. They wouldn't put things on sale unless they wanted to get more sales.
Yeah.
Because if they've already done the initial onslaught of because I'm assuming with video games there's an initial surge of purchases, right?
They used to be. They're saying now the tail is a lot longer than it used to be, where people are buying stuff 3-4 weeks after to see what if the game lasts.
To see if the game's good, see how it's rated.
Yeah, because I went to when Mass Effect came out. I know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Mass Effect, but I went to GameStop to pick it up for their midnight launch, and
Yeah, you went midnight when nobody was there.
That was a mistake.
yeah, I remember like their games would come out and there'd be lines
Yeah,
wrapped all the way
yeah.
around. And
When I
now-
bought a Switch, there was.
That
Yeah.
era is just dying
It's
though.
done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
there's-
done. The game, the idea of like going out for a minute. Because I mean, why would you do that? Like, yeah, a long time ago when we were in high school, you had to do that. But nowadays, like, if you really want it, buy digital. It's out at 9 p.m.
Yeah,
You get it at 9 p.m. We live in Pacific Standard
And you
Time.
don't have to deal with the box. Like people don't have infinite space. Everyone lives in apartments now. Everyone lives in small houses now.
Yeah.
Like you just
Storage
don't have.
is a problem. Yeah.
Like I threw away all my DVD boxes and put all my DVDs into a wallet. I hate it. It's stupid.
Yeah.
But I saved probably like.
And it's easier to get them. You know, I mean, it's not as cool to show them off, but it's so much easier to be like, oh, hey, we want to watch a movie. Open this thing, go through them versus like, oh, which movie is it? Pull this out, do this, grab the other movie, put it in. It's, like it's
Those 3 extra steps. And
wait, this is the guy who wouldn't play Mass Effect because of the disc changer.
which is a fair and valid complaint, to be honest.
Like, was it Mass Effect 2? It was
Mass Effect 3.
Mass
I
Effect
played
3.
Mass Effect 2 because I loved it. Mass Effect 3
2 is great.
They first pissed me off when they didn't let me move.
Do not talk about your character. Do not talk about your character.
Oh,
I-
Do not talk about your character.
I am allowed.
Yes, he
to
talks about this a
No,
lot.
do not.
This is,
Yeah.
Why would they do that? I'm the guy who I love my character, okay? I made him in Mass Effect 1. I kept him in
Playing
Mass
through the
Effect
first
2.
game.
I think-
and they then say, hey, nobody's going to want their character models from the first game.
I think the listener should know.
I love this character. This is me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think the listener should know that.
The listener, please.
I think I should know, that, as the listener, that any model, any shepherd that you designed in that game just looked ridiculous compared to the
awesome.
actual
Ridiculously
shepherd
awesome.
model. No,
Yeah.
you cannot make a good
I made
customized shepherd
the
in that
best
game.
one. You saw
cannot.
my character, and it's like, hey, that guy is cooler than the main
The
shepherd.
prank show.
Oh, we should probably get going because we've been talking for a long time. This
Or
was
better
total-
yet, we should probably get going because we've been talking
Oh
for a
my
while.
Yeah, I probably should wrap it up, Brank. If you could
No,
just
I
cut it.
agree with Stank Bank.
And thanks for joining us, Bank Stank. We'll probably be stanking and banking with you soonly.
Can I come up with a new name? I don't know if I like it.
It sounds so dirty.
Well, by
Yeah, it does.
next time you stank and steak with us, then we'll bank you later, and you can choose a new name.
Okay.
It sounds like a sperm bank for poop.
That sucks. And that was a bad joke.
Think before you speak.
Super BS out. Badooch.
Badoosh.
It hurts.
That to us people that can feel things, it hurts.